Hey guys, welcome to PEZ Talks. So, January is one of those months where we sit down in my oversized Harry Potter sweatshirt and just talk to you about goal setting. Because, of course, we tend to set a lot of New Year's resolutions and maybe we don't always make them. But this time I thought I would set some goals for myself, but also encourage you guys to set the same types of goals. And so I'm only going to give you 3 because giving too many goals is a little bit overwhelming. If you're new to my channel, I just want to tell you guys that I am an English tutor. I help middle and high school students with their literature and language arts, but I also have a few younger students too, just because. Let me know if you need tutoring services because I'm here to help you guys. I'm not doing it just because I really do enjoy helping you guys. The number one goal I've decided upon this year is to learn about something that I'm basically quite clueless over, and that is taxes. I polled my friends on Instagram. Guess which one people said? Yeah, basically I don't know much about taxes, and I know there's that time of year we sit down and we meet with somebody, or maybe you do your own taxes and you're like, oh, I'm just told that I have to pay taxes, and if I don't taxes, I get arrested by the IRS or the NRA or whoever it is that comes after me. No, let me show you a book that's helping me. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You have to read this book, okay? I would recommend it to anyone who's 15 years old and up, anyone who's forward thinking. The deal is, and I admit because I still kind of am one of these people who talk like this, but in our society and in other, I would say in other developing countries too, we tend to send our kids to school and we tell them, hey guys, make sure you work hard, follow the rules, get a job, and pay your taxes, pay your government. But we don't really sit down to think why we're doing that, or, that's an okay way to live. It's a safe way to live, but there's other ways. Sorry about that piece of hair. There are perhaps smarter ways to live, or at least more financial options. So what this guy here, let's say his name, it's Robert Kiyosaki. He also has a podcast I've been listening to. There seems to be this discrepancy against people who understand financial literacy versus people who don't. And the thing is, if you understand how money works, you're more likely to be better at managing your money. That doesn't mean that you have to become rich and wealthy. Does everyone have to become wealthy? No! If you don't want to be wealthy, who cares? It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying that as a personal goal for me, I want to be more aware of how money in this world works and whether or not we need to move toward Bitcoin or whatever it is that they're talking about. Clearly, I don't know everything yet. Okay, highly recommend this book though. I'm not finished with it yet, so it's probably not fair to do a book review, but the thing's been around for so long, so I'm pretty excited about it. He's got some great ideas in here. In today's economy, we hear a lot of complaining about, well, I can't do my job now because of COVID, because of the pandemic, I've been fired, or I had to quit, or I've been downsized. That kind of stuff used to really get to me because when I exited college, I had a hard time finding a job too because we were in a recession and supposedly people weren't hiring, or that's what I was discovering. One of the remedies to that problem is to create a job, and it's actually very possible to do. One idea I have that I want someone to try is to, if you have a dog or some other awesome animal, you could start either some type of dog walking service where maybe you visit the elderly in a safe manner, and maybe they can spend time with your dog for a fee. You have group meetings and you can charge a small fee to have people come and spend time with your dog and do dog tricks or something. It's just an idea. It's just a shape of an idea. I'm just saying, sometimes I have ideas, but I'm not the one to implement them. You guys can. And by the way, you could probably do that online as well. All right, another great goal for this year is to read biographies. I'll be honest, I've started a few biographies that I just couldn't finish because of the length of time. A biography is so informative that it's not always easy to get through, but I highly recommend reading a biography. Like, I started the Steve Jobs biography a long time ago, and I quit reading it because it was long. He's an interesting guy to learn about, but because the book was so long, I think it was overdue at the library, and thus you fall into the trap of, well, I'll finish it it some other time, and then I haven't finished it. I also had a Benjamin Franklin biography that I still would maybe like to finish. If you're a parent watching this, I definitely would encourage your students to try to read a biography, and maybe not even a biography, but trying to read something different. The thing is, if you always read the same types of genres over and over again, you're never really going to develop as a person. I don't like the idea of students or even myself reading the same types of things for years and never branching out. I think that's what keeps you small-minded. If you try to read something new, like challenging yourself by reading biographies about musicians or biographies about presidents, or you can even read parts of it. You don't have to read the whole thing, but I still say it's a great idea because my client is here. Another goal I have for the year is wake up earlier. I'm doing it now, but it's still a goal for me. Like, I'm still continuing. I have to get up a little bit early for my job, but there are still times when I don't. Like, if I'm not teaching the homeschool students in the morning, I really do have ample opportunity to sleep in, like back in the old days when I was a teenager or even in college. Honestly, sleeping in is such a luxury, but the thing is, you waste a lot of time. So if there's a weekday coming up where you know you have the opportunity to sleep in, try to start getting up a little bit earlier, like around 7 or 8, and cook breakfast for yourself. Starting my day with an actual breakfast and then getting to walk into my office and getting a few things done is just way more productive than sleeping in late, getting up, suddenly it's lunchtime, suddenly I'm behind on stuff, suddenly it's dinner time. You see what I'm saying? So you may not want to hear that, or maybe it's a bit trite, like, well, Doug, early bird gets the worm and all that cliche stuff. But I found that continuing at good habits like that is so much better. I feel better in the day. I still stay up late from time to time on special occasions or on holidays. I feel better when I can go to bed at a decent hour and get up fairly early just to get a few things done. So out of these 3 goals, which ones are your favorite? Which ones seem more feasible for you to do? I recommend at least starting with one. I know a lot of it involves doing things that are out of our comfort zone, but that's the point of setting goals. You don't need to set this impossible goal of making 6 figures this year. Oh yeah, that's kind of another goal of mine, but hey, I'll get there one day. But for now, I'm gonna start with these goals, and I hope you guys can too. All right guys, Happy New Year. See you next time.